Is understanding Elon Musk, and we are still busy with Twitter Space. As you can see, Space a meeting about Twitter, and let's continue.
That you would seek to renegotiate the food budget and not, have it be 20 times more than it should be. Which should be the case.
Just to recap, previous they were talking about the expenses and how much run rate and how much food. George said how much food he wanted, nice food, etc. And then Elon Musk said there was only 5% coming to the office. So in reality, you're paying 20 times the price of food. So a meal is in reality not is almost $400 per meal. So my suggestion in the previous video was, why don't you pull all those people in one of the other companies he has. He can maybe ask them rent, for example SpaceX, or put them at Starbase, or put them at Tesla somewhere, and use their facilities for the food. It's much cheaper, I think, than the building they have now. And if still he accepts remote work, then if 5% only comes, means 95% is working remote, and then it doesn't even matter where they live. So that was my previous advice. The
food's a lot worse now than it was. A lot worse. Yeah, well, we can definitely improve that. So that's not like I think some impossible thing to overcome. This is not it's not going to break the bank. The issue is more, you can't pay like $13 million a year for a mostly empty building for lunch, and not even including dinner. So I could save $13 million by switching ads prediction from TS serving to Alex runtime alone. Yeah, I'm saying we can totally have a good lunch. Yeah, we're not going to like lunch purgatory for the rest of the time. We may have gone too far, is what I'm saying. I think we may have gone too far in cost cutting. With respect to the lunch, that could be the case. And so we'll have to sort of overcorrect it in that regard, and we can fix it. This is not an insurmountable problem. Yeah. Well, yeah, so read factors, food, how about free speech?
So also the strange things that they're talking about code and all the problems, big problems they really have to change the platform, and now they are talking 5 minutes about food. That is in reality a minor issue, because some other countries except America, you take your own food with you, like in the Netherlands and in Japan, you take your lunch break and you go to a restaurant in the neighborhood and you pay it yourself, because it is the payment is included in your salary. So, but America's a little bit spoiled to hear that they have always their food in their own building, and it's all paid for, and it's the cost of the company. But yeah, let's continue and hope they will stop talking about food.
Well, I mean, free speech, let me tell you that if somebody's going to pay the servers, okay, so the speech is going to cost at least $8. Because otherwise, how do we pay the freaking server bill? There's like a $1.5 million-ish, of all-in server-related costs. We're trying to get that lower, but it's a lot. It's like not trivial. And a minimum,
Yeah, I think this is a quite big amount of money for servers for like Twitter. He has his own Starlink, so he has a point of entry for internet, and maybe he has to go into a little bit more in the internet business, so he makes a real entry point of internet. And if he has that, then he just has to stamp out some servers there he already needs, and then also use that to host all the Twitter stuff. So, or you do Twitter through Starlink or something. But I think there is also a way he can cut cost, and or at least spread this cost over other companies and let other companies also take use of it. Or there is maybe a better model that paying $1 or $2 billion for server cost. That is, for me, if I hear it, it is too much.
So I'm going to pay the bills. Advertising for sure, but there's some degree of subscriptions. And then on the speech front, my general philosophy on that is that we should hew close to the law in any given country.
And that makes me so happy if that's actually what the policy is. I'm upset when I see Paul Graham get banned for mentioning Mastodon.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
You can make arguments for Kanye West, you can make arguments for Elon, but you can't make an argument for Paul Graham.
No, I agree. That was a mistake.
Okay. Can people post Mastodon now?
Yeah, fucking post Mastodon all goddamn day long. I don't care.
Yeah, let's talk about something better than Mastodon, right? Like, come on, how hard could it be to beat these?
From an evolutionary standpoint, how'd that work out for the Mastodons?
I don't know what Mastodon was. I still feel like there's something to be said about open source projects. So you have Linux that outcompeted Windows. Big networks of armies of volunteers can maintain pretty complex things. Sure, maybe Linux is run a little bit like a monarchy, like George said earlier in the space, but I do think that there's something to be said about open source software in general. And it's like anti-fragility. I mean, Linux is absolutely run like a monarchy, but Linux is not Twitter. Linux has a large code base because it needs to support many different device drivers and many different devices. Twitter needs to support basic core functionality, and I think open sourcing it, there's no value in the code, right? The operating system has value in the code. The value of Twitter is the network.
I suppose, but there's still composability arguments, right? Like you guys could reuse and other people could build on top of.
If Twitter was open source tomorrow, what would you build?
I think we should just post the source somewhere. Frankly, that would be sick.
No one would ever get it to run.
Well, I mean, listen, that would just, I think, finally explain.
Do it.
That is appropriate explain with words, because you can just look at it.
Twitter source.
So tarball is also, that means that you zip the whole application of your whole environment. So all your software, your whole stack, and you make it one big zip file, and that's called tarball. Tarball comes tar is a compression software from Linux, Unix. So that's it. And what they also say for this free software for Linux, they are correct. The biggest, the best versions from Linux comes from Unix and are made from the corporate. Of course, there is an added value by programmers from the open source community, but they are great for debugging. Even when I worked for a software company, I found a bug in IBM Unix, something with FTP server that was wrong. So you, as a normal person, can help developing software. Especially with debugging and finding bugs in it, but the real development is still done by professionals, and especially if you want to have deadlines for your software, it has to be done at the end of the release. You have to have some structure there, and maybe so you have to pay some programmers really to push the project ahead. And this is what I said. This is not like a platform where you can build on stuff like an operating system or maybe some tool. This is an user and software package for communication, and the only thing you can do with it is communicate. And if later Elon Musk want to add like payment and other services on it, then it will be less open, I think. So I think the community can just get a feeling how big it is and how massive it is, or what kind of spaghetti monster it is. but helping debugging with problems if they can shift through it. But I think don't expect any help from the open source community. I think.
I have 2 ideas. Plus the whole 20 million lines of Scala, and you can just watch it and read to your heart's content. Because wow.
I think it's actually modest. I think those are just the huge ones.
Round numbers, yeah. Don't take a million.
Yeah. Well, that's just Scala. You know, we have a lot of Python as well.
Yeah. But there's a lot of open source code quality is like really poor.
So he also said we have a lot of Scala and Python too. The previous article I read that they also use Java and other JavaScript and Ruby, and it looks like they already reduced the number of programming languages. That is a good thing to hear.
And on Linux, most of the contributors are paid by like Intel and other big firms, so it's not really a fair comparison at all. Yeah, sure, but you still have like composability though, right? Like a lot of people can build on top of what they're building, and then that makes like I don't know. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But who's gonna sponsor it? And no one's gonna sponsor open source engineers. Inherited open source composability is a thing that takes a lot of effort and money and time as well. Like there's a lot of coders that are open source that aren't composable at all. The theoretical potential is there, but it's not like a thing almost always. No one is going to volunteer to your open source project to come in and do meaningful refactors that reduce the code. They're going to write a feature, be like, please merge it so I don't have to maintain it.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
Still though, Elon, is there any way to like gamify getting more people to use Twitter? Because I think a lot of people hear about Twitter in the news, they don't really understand how to use it or get the app and use it, but maybe if there's a way to encourage other people to show people how to use it, it could help get more daily active users eventually.
This is a good time to stop because I'm now at around 11 minutes, so let's wait for this answer on the next video. See you!